How's it going, everyone? I'm pleased to welcome each of you to our channel. We're here to talk about all things boxing. We'll debate current events as well as old topics. We'll talk about upcoming fights, articles, and even some Twitter discussions in the near future. And of course, hopefully discuss our antipathy for some creators on this platform. But that will have to wait a while, since I'm sure our distaste for these individuals will bring this upscale production down a few notches. I'll start off by introducing myself. I go by Robin, and with me I have
Kane.
and together we're the Pair of Gloves podcast. And of course, as promised on the video title, we'll be starting off with our pound for pound list. And I'll start. For number 1, I have Saul Canelo Alvarez. For 2, I have Errol the Truth Spence Jr. And I got Tyson Fury, Chocolatito, Usyk, and I'll even give a 6th. And I'll give that to Crawford for now. And what about you?
I have Saul Canelo Alvarez, number 1. I have Usyk at number 2, Earl Spence at 3, Crawford at 4, and Inway at 5. But I could also probably put Chocolatito at 5. It's pretty close.
And also in the near future, I'd like to discuss why we placed the fighters where we did, and or at least we can, and that'll be coming up soon. But for now, we have a few interesting fights in our wake, so I'd like to talk about those. But for now, the fight this weekend, Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson. What's your take on that fight coming up?
Well, I think it's a good, solid fight. So it's a great fight for boxing overall.
Definitely.
We know Oscar. He likes to go out there and put on a show. He likes to make a spectacle of it. He in the classic Mexican style, he likes to go to war. I mean, he has the skills beyond it, but I think this is a fight where he can't afford to go out there and brawl and try to exchange. Shakur's simply not going to go for that. So we know who his team is, but
well, yeah, because I believe where you're trying to go with this is that his Philly shell, he's not gonna engage with Oscar at all, and as we've seen that in his previous fights, he's just not gonna engage. And I mean, can you really blame him? He's gonna probably get caught like Burchelt did. So yeah, I imagine him being on the back foot the entire time. And Oscar's probably going to struggle to get in. But I actually have been doing some research on Oscar to see if he's fought any southpaws, and he actually did back in 2015. Looked his name up, but yeah, I didn't catch his name actually. But one thing I did notice, I loved his footwork in the fight. He used really specific angles to land his shots, and his lateral footwork was just like pretty amazing. So he's pretty well versed in fighting southpaws. So I don't think Shakur being a southpaw is even going to be an advantage. I think Valdez will actually find a way in and use lateral movements to land his shots. I think we should watch that fight back, and I'm pretty sure you'll see what I'm talking about.
I agree. I didn't think the southpaw was going to be any sort of detriment to Valdez. Just the Philly shell, the slick back foot, his ability to evade shots. Oscar likes to move forward, and that's the bread and butter for someone like Shakur, which is why he can't go out there and play his own game. Really, his own game is moving forward and try to. Yeah, I mean, he can't play his game or Shakur's. He's got to go out there and put his actual boxing skills to use. He's got to force Shakur to come to him.
I don't see that happening. I mean, you see how... I got to give the kid credit. He's very devoted. He's very determined. Very talented. He has the sweet science down to a T. And as you know, I'm a big fan of, and that eventually most of you will come to know that I'm a fan of the sweet science. I have nothing but admiration, really, for that style. I'm not going to knock Shakur at all and say he has no chance like I'm seeing most of similar Oscar fans say. But I do believe that people are giving Valdez an unfair criticism that he's that he's just like has a puncher's chance, which I really don't agree with that.
For sure.
He has his own setups and traps that he's used consistently that have worked really well against well, quote unquote slick fighters, but I'm sure this is the slickest fighters he's ever shared the ring with, so let's hope he implements it well.
And that's a thing in itself, is that, I mean, Shakur hasn't really faced anyone on Oscar's level, but you could argue maybe that not that he's faced someone quite as slick as Shakur, but he's fought high level opponents. He has the experience that Shakur doesn't.
He's like at what, 30 fights or something now?
Yeah, and he fought Consacao, Burchell, high level dudes, high level opposition. Shakur, not quite as much, and I don't think Shakur's felt power like
Oscar's. Yeah, I agree. So I still feel like if Oscar Valdez catches him with a good shot, it's gonna be an early night. So.
Absolutely, and like I was saying, we know whose Oscar's team is. I mean, they just got out of a fight with someone with this exact style.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because there's been photos going around that he's working with Caleb Plant. So
Shakur?
Oh yeah, I guess
I
forgot to mention that.
Yeah, they already have the blueprint. Not only that, it's very fresh in their mind because it was their last fight.
Exactly. So I can only imagine the amount of pointers and valuable pointers that Canelo is giving Oscar Valdez.
It's really just up to Oscar to stick to the game plan when he gets in there, implement what they worked on in camp.
Yeah, and it's just of course with the Canelo Plant fight, scenes of some of Caleb Plant's regular fights of how elusive he is and how he moves around the ring and how he basically just bullies everybody with his speed. He did not look like that against Canelo.
No, he didn't.
Like those power shots really affected him, and I think they're definitely working on that at camp with Valdez.
But Canelo's also just a very, very high level fighter.
Yeah, but like at the same time, usually like I still genuinely feel like the best shot against southpaws is a check left hook to the body. So when Stevenson tries to back his head up, his body's gonna be wide open, and it's just gonna be an easy tree to break down for Oscar. So
for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna back up his head, but his body's still gonna be exactly where his legs are, and it's gonna be right in front of him. So Stevenson's probably gonna slow down as far as his step back game.
If he can work on that early, attacking the body and slowing him down, draining his gas tank, he can pull it off. Yeah, both by decision and by stoppage.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, if he invests early to the body from the beginning of the fight, yeah, I agree. I see that happening.
I mean, because Oscar has a solid gas tank himself.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, like other than that, it's if he sticks to the game plan, he can definitely have a successful night. If he doesn't, if he wants to go out there and make a show of it, well, it's probably going to be Shakur's night. But I mean, even then, it's...
Yeah, I mean, Eddie will calm him down. Eddie will tell him, like, stop doing these extra things.
The great thing about Eddie is he's great at making adjustments as the fight goes and letting his fighters know
what they're doing wrong and how they could change it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess that'll probably wrap it up for Valdez Stevenson. So my official prediction, I mean, yours can be slightly different or it might be the same. But I think Shakur will go down a few times from body shots. Or in the other rare scenario, Shakur by points. But I'm leaning more towards Valdez stoppage. So how about you?
I mean, I have it about 50-50, either Shakur by decision or Valdez by stoppage. I could see Valdez winning on points if he saps the gas tank and...
Saps the tank, or Stevenson goes down or takes a knee.
Yeah, goes down but doesn't necessarily get stopped.
Yeah.
I could see it going that way, but...
Taking a few knees.
The least likely. It's going to be Valdez by stoppage or Shakur by points, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So... there's our prediction. Thanks everyone for listening. This wraps up this first episode. Of course, for this first installment, we wanted to keep it short and simple. Personally, I can't wait to continue to pump out some more videos. We're very opinionated on the boxing community, and we're very open to sharing those opinions. I'm a very candid guy, so I'm going to be very candid when those videos come out, and we're going to be very straightforward. So what do you got to say about that? Any final words?
And just I'm looking forward to spreading the good word of boxing, taking care of narratives,
Yes.
and just sharing our opinions, interacting with the community, really seeing how everyone else feels about, upcoming fights and all the good stuff.
Right on. All right, so everyone, thanks for listening. Follow us at Pair of Gloves Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
Make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, share.
And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Signing out.